question from Sean. Do we need to evangelize the Orthodox and the Catholic as well? Do we need to do we need to
Yeah.
evangelize the Orthodox?
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily, it's Orthodox and Catholics. I think if we look at Revelation, let me pull up that verse. Revelation 14, you know what I'm thinking of, Tina, right?
You're talking about 3 angels' messages?
Yeah.
Revelation 14, starting verse 6 through 12. I'm guessing. I mean, I'm a little bit, Sean, I think you have a good question. I'm just trying to make sure I understand exactly what you mean. Do we need to evangelize the Orthodox and the Catholic as well? Like, as if those are two polar opposites, or is just those specific groups? And I would say we need to evangelize everybody. I think everybody in every church needs a little evangelism for sure. Because it's very important that, everybody needs to hear the gospel, and everybody needs to make sure that they truly know the gospel and examine themselves to see if they're walking in the faith, and to examine themselves to know for sure that what they're studying and what they believe is truth, truly is stacked up against the Bible. So anyways, Jay, did you find the verse you're looking for?
Was there? Okay, so Revelation 14:15 says, and another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him, sat on the cloud, thrust in sickle and reap, and wait, that's not it. Oh, came out of the temple.
That's okay. You look for that.
Here we go. Okay. So Revelation 14:8, it says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, the great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So we're being warned, there's this Babylon that a lot of people are in, and it's a spiritual Babylon. It's just like God has his city representing God's people, sort of Satan has his city people are in and are citizens of. We're all citizen of one city or the other. And some people, Jesus is saying, are in Babylon, they might not know it. And the whole point of the warning about the mark of the beast is to give people foreknowledge that, hey, this is coming. There's going to be oppression to force people into Babylon. Then we come to Revelation 18, and actually this message, very similar, is repeated.
18 verse 4. Sorry.
Verse 4. Okay, yeah, great. We could jump straight there. And it says, yeah, and I heard another voice of heaven saying, come out of her, my people. And I think this is so important. Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers in her sins, lest you receive of her plagues, referring to the plagues associated with the people who had the mark of the beast, and then we'll get that. But I'm just always so moved at the wording of this, with come out of her, my people. So it shouldn't, and Sean, your language is very appropriate, but there's a lot of people who often look at people in other denominations or other churches as the enemies. And the fact is, God has his people in every church.
Amen.
And so the question really is going to be, okay, who is Babylon? Where is Babylon? And who are the people then that are confused and not even realizing they're in there? And once they hear these cries of the angels calling them out, come out of Babylon, that they'll realize, and oh yeah, there's no way I could stay in Babylon. Those are the people that need to hear this message. And again, they're in every church, every denomination. And really Babylon is, I really come to evolve and think it's even broader than what some people say, that yeah, it is, the confused state, mostly confused Christianity, that has that form of godliness but denies the power thereof. And these are people who are going through the motions. They don't know God yet, and they want to. There's so many people who want to know God and are looking, seeking, and are just being misled. And so many of the things we dispute here are errors that are lies that are being taught at the pulpits. Again, not that the pastors and priests, all these people are telling falsities intentionally. They could be deceived as well. and we're talking about traditions that have been within the church for 1,000+ years that we're trying to here bring to light to people so that they know, you know, come out of Babylon. There's a much better truth. If you're struggling with God and don't, and can't even bring yourself to accept that there's a God because of these lies, I mean, it's just a
Mhm.
tragedy. Or you look at God's people again who claim to be righteous, claim to be holy, and yet are terrible, wretched people who are actually mean and cruel that are tarnishing God's name and God's reputation. I mean, it's devastating. This is why it's so important for God to have an end time people who could be like Noah, who can be righteous, who can be teachers of truth and live that righteous life. Again, Noah wasn't a perfect person. We know that clearly, right? He sinned even after the flood, but the point was where it mattered, he did the job he was called to do, and God needs his people to do their job, and part of that job is calling out his people from the confused churches,
Mhm.
whoever those are.
Amen. And yeah, and I totally agree. I think that's so true. I think you're right in saying that Babylon is much broader than just like one specific church or denomination. I really think, I mean, because Babylon literally it means confusion. And I think so many people are confused, even people who are not in church, they're confused about who God is and and his character. And so, I really think, yeah, do we need evangelism in every church? We need to reach people who just don't truly know who God really is and understand his character of love. And I think that that's really the bottom line of, those messages that the angels in Revelation 14 are trying to bring to your light. In Revelation 14:6, it says the first angel cries with a loud voice, fear God. Fear God. Who is God? Fear him. Respect him, honor him. What does that mean to fear God? You need to go to the Bible to define that. You have to go to the book of Proverbs. I think it's chapter 16, verse 13. I could have that flipped around. But basically, to fear God means to hate evil, to get away from evil, to step away from sin, and to know God, the God of truth, the God of love, the God of goodness, and fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment has come, and worship him who made heaven and earth. Like, no, he's a God who is a creator. There's so many beautiful things within that message of just getting to know who God is. Who is God? He's a God that deserves to be feared. He's a God that desires us to step away from sin. He's a God who is our creator. He's a God that deserves our worship. And there's so many more truths within that message of just knowing who God is and knowing his name. And so anyways, do we need to evangelize? Of course. Every church, every denomination, if they have a pulse, evangelize.
Yeah, so I think we have to evangelize literally everybody, even to each other. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
exactly.
we're not any more holy than anybody else. So it's
Exactly.
like we all need to evangelize and be evangelized too, and that's ministry. I mean, we're all part of this broken, sinful world and striving to know God's love better.
hmm Amen. Amen. Yeah, and take that into our individual circumstances and lives and all that. So yeah.
Thank you, Sean, for the question. That's a good one.